Welcome to Empirical Peapod.
We're recording now. So I also think this season I'm not going to have an intro to the show.
Not that cool music?
At least it's way shorter. Probably just a close, quick 5 seconds. And then I figured I would just try to, every episode I record, introduce live while we're talking. So I just be like, welcome to Empirical Peapod.
And then cut right in.
I'm here with Silver something, former Marshal, because I can't pronounce her new name.
Siemasko.
Just like it's spelled. So the former Silver Marshal.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's still my middle name.
Is it really?
I have 3 kids that have my last name, so I took my old last name and made it a second middle name. So I'm super royalty.
The second time I've heard that.
Really?
Kelly DeGand, Joe's wife, her last name was Green and she didn't want to lose her last name. Mm-hmm. So she made it her middle name.
So now I'm Silver Dawn Marshall Siemasko.
Yeah.
With the 2 middle names, not the hyphen.
It's getting a little hillbilly, but...
No, it is royal.
Silver
I
Dawn.
am like a queen.
Okay, I could take that. Silver Dawn actually sounds kind of awesome. Like a sword name?
It's very hippie because of the way I got it.
Did you have to earn your name?
No. If I'm being totally honest, this is the story I've told everyone my whole life.
Sure.
I can't promise that's actually the story, but it's how my parents presented it to me. Because if I really think about it, it's like, was my name decided in the hospital, or did they already have an idea? So originally I was Wisteria Zelona. That was going to be my...
What?
Right.
That wasn't even a word. What did you just say? Wisteria?
Wisteria. It's like a plant, right?
Wisteria.
Zelona. Yes, that is what they had picked out for me. Mm-hmm.
Now I'm curious what your life would have been like with that.
I don't know.
I like to think way better.
Fuck. So Grandma was afraid it would be shortened to Whisty, and then I would eventually be called Whiskey.
Oh.
So they didn't want me called Whiskey. Instead, I get tin and brass and nickel. Probably you were one of those that said that because people think that's funny. But
I don't think it's funny because I've always thought it's such a unique, cool name.
It is a cool name, right?
Because doesn't your sister have a similarly?
Oh, okay. So let me get there, right? So let me get there. Please. So I was named after, I was born super early in the morning in Texas, and it was fog.
You're born in Texas?
Sure, I'm a native. Exciting. Sure, I'm a Texas native.
Yeah.
But it was foggy out, and the dew had just settled on the grass, and it kind of looked silvery, so they called me the Silver Dawn.
Wow.
Yeah. I have to say there were substances involved in that, but sure. I don't know that for sure.
I feel like it's safe to presume.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've grown up either being a stripper. Funny story about that too. But
exciting. A lot of foreshadowing here.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. But the name is, we could go 3 hours about the name, right?
Yeah. Well, usually you give yourself a stage name, but your parents were like, she's definitely gonna not succeed in life and probably need to make money. We'll give her a stripper name up front.
Right. So I got that covered. Done.
Yeah.
But my whole life, people will ask oh, is your sister's name Gold? And I'm like, no, it's Purum. Aren't you glad you asked?
I'll say it's equally a mineral.
No, it's not.
Well, Purum?
Puranium is a mineral.
Oh, okay.
Purum.
That's fair.
Is a Jewish jazz singer's last name that my Christian parents liked.
Your parents are wild.
Right? They're actually pretty fucking awesome.
Well, I mean, yeah. It doesn't sound like they take anything seriously.
And have very normal names.
I hope so.
But we've passed it down. I have 3 kids with awesome names. My sister has 3 kids with awesome names. It's all been passed.
That sounds a little subjective, right?
Oh, no, they actually are awesome. It's not subjective.
No, that's a fact. They're actually awesome names.
100% a fact.
So
all cool names.
We just alluded to, so you started in Texas?
I did, yeah.
Did you live in Texas or did you just happen to be born in Texas?
No, I lived in Texas for 6 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we moved here halfway through kindergarten. So 5.5 years, I guess.
Damn, but you've been here basically since you started school just about.
6 months in Plainfield. and then started first grade in Oswego and was in Oswego for 30 years.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So I'm a Texas native. I like to say that because it's cool.
Sure.
Right. Like my social security number starts with a different number than all you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not a 327?
No, it's a 4.
That's exciting.
I know. It's a state thing.
It's the little things.
It actually does make me feel cool. But yeah, my dad's work transferred him up here. Mind you, same job he's still with.
Wow, really?
My dad's got an awesome job.
Yeah, I feel like he should be retired by now.
He's not. He gets to travel the world.
That's awesome.
With his job. And he has not retired yet. He probably should be, but I'm 68, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's 68.
That's how old my mom is.
Yeah, so not yet. He could. He's really good at it. He's like a little bit of a genius.
I feel like if you love it too, like...
And he does.
And you're able to do it, why stop?
Yeah. And it's allowed him to be able to travel and my mom to go with him. They wanted him to do this position for years. And he was like, no, I'm not leaving my wingman because it involved a lot of travel. And so finally they were like, okay,
is that what he calls
she can
your
go.
mom?
Yeah. She can go.
Yeah.
If you will take this position. So they've been to India and China for like weeks and months at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, just all over the place. Russia. And he's always, I swear to God, he always goes at the worst times. Like he just got back from Korea, the good one.
Okay.
But it's always like when he was in Russia was when a whole bunch of shit went down. He literally had to like go to the embassy and be like, by the way, I want to let you know I'm here.
Yeah.
Not for any other
Do
reason
not
but
murder
work.
me.
Right.
Yeah.
He was in China when a whole bunch of riots went down. So like my mom like had a curfew and couldn't walk certain areas and places.
It's
and
wild when you have to learn the rules and then obey them. So we're so used to being like, don't tell me what to do. And nobody really saying anything.
And we live here with, I mean, like, we truly are a melting pot, right?
Yeah.
But they go and, like, people are, like, China, and people are taking pictures. Like, my dad's 5'8", but he's taller than all of them. My mom's 5'10".
Yeah.
And they're tan.
Oh, so your mom is 10. All right. Your mom is 5'10", I meant.
Yeah, so me, my mom, Veda, and my oldest niece, all the exact same height.
Yeah. That is neat.
Thanks. Appreciate that. And now my life's not cool. Awesome.
Why is I gotta think, like, your dad's only 5'8". How mad do you think he is that all of you girls are 5'10"?
So my dad told me when I was growing up that once I got taller than him, I had to go. Like, you ever get taller than me and you're out of the house.
Yeah.
Well, I was 12.
Right. Wow.
So.
That's funny because I feel like you kind of peaked early.
Yeah, I was always tall.
Yeah.
Always the tallest in the class.
Yeah.
But I have been this height since I was 12. They used to call me Larry Bird in junior high.
I hit 5'10" in 6th grade and then, like, never grew again.
Right.
Like,
I never grew after 12 years old.
So it was before everybody, and I was like, ooh, and then everybody got way taller than me.
Well, it was nice because, like, in junior high, I was humongous. Because I was 5'10" in junior high, right? Like,
now you went to Trauber, right?
I did go to Trauber.
With us. Whoever us is, at least me.
All the other people that went to Trauber.
Yeah, there was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
We were an awesome class, though, when we came in 6th grade. But you definitely stood out. You don't remember?
I don't know. What was so awesome about us?
100% doesn't matter. But, like, usually there's an air of who's the standout class.
Oh, I've always been awesome, so that was probably hard to tell.
Right, that makes sense. You didn't notice because you're like, yeah, it's just another day.
This is a thing.
Just another Silver Marshall day. Ugh. I'm still mad about your name, too. Silver, Dawn, Marshall, S-word.
Siemasko. My husband said he was called some asshole in high school, so if
That's
that helps.
It's a little on the nose.
I don't know, it's Polish, and apparently it's not the true last name.
Really?
Yeah, they changed it because the original last name was too hard, I guess.
Yeah, so many things got fudged when they all landed on Ellis Island, like immigration and stuff. Mm-hmm. They're like, you're not that anymore.
Right, that's too hard for us to say here.
Yeah.
So we're going to make that something else.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember. I literally asked him last night because I can't remember what it was. I mean, I've been married for like a day, so I don't really remember.
So you've been married for a day?
No, but under 2 years.
Yeah.
So I did. So, he said it last night. It's longer. 9 months. 9 months. We met in August.
Yeah.
And got married the following May. 23.
So every season or episode, I feel like I kind of hug the same phrases.
I've noticed that.
Which I can't help. It just happens.
But I have noticed.
Yeah, I hate it.
Not for nothing.
Yeah.
That was one of them. And
that one will still come up.
Something about interesting.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in, or
Yeah.
I'd be interested to know.
It really, like, because when it's recorded, you're like, God, I'm a really repetitive piece of shit. I should.
But it's not the same.
Yeah.
It changes.
I should expand my vocabulary. But I think this season, it's going to be a sound effect. I'm just going to be like, oof. As if people tell me their stories, and I'm just like, oof.
That's actually hilarious, though. I approve. Of this. I'm good with that.
So, we're definitely jumping way ahead, but
yeah,
I just can't
we can go back to Trauber if you want. Because I really am curious why we were so cool.
I don't have an answer to that.
Oh, okay.
We're just going to weave around, and I like to let the audience put it in order.
Oh, shit.
How they feel.
Okay, I'm cool.
Because I can't, like, I feel like there's no learning curve with you. You're just like, I'll just do this now. And then
it's
sometimes,
like insight into what happens up here.
Yeah,
which is
right.
super fucking scary.
Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. So, yeah, we get through junior high. So, but you were only in Texas for 6 years. Mm-hmm. Was it hard to move for you at that time, or was it just like, no, it is what it is?
Yeah.
You know,
it's hard now.
You're not a friendly person.
I resent my dad for making me come somewhere cold. I hate the cold. But no,
you ever go back to Texas?
Like to visit?
No, like to live.
No,
you wouldn't leave here?
Oh, do you think I ever would? 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is the goal.
Yeah.
Either Texas or Florida once my youngest graduates. Yeah, my parents actually live in Florida now. They have 2 condos on the beach.
Well, that's a rule. They have to. As you get older, you migrate.
Yeah. But they own these 2 condos. They rented them out. And then finally they were like, all right, we're going to go. So they're living in one now so they can build a house and still have those.
So you're from a rich family.
No. We were middle class.
Like,
we lived fine. I never wanted.
Anymore.
Yeah. No. What does that mean?
Yeah,
never wanted for anything.
I remember the 90s too, Silver. Yeah.
I definitely have gone through my poor phases. I did not grow up
personally,
like that.
yeah.
Personally, yeah. I did not grow up like that.
Say, yeah, it sounds like Dad's always had an awesome job.
Yes.
So that's cool. So what was it like then coming? Plainfield was just real quick little blip,
mm-hmm.
but then coming here and then trying to establish yourself and make friends here. I feel like you've got a pretty good friends group, at least through school and through high school. I don't know if you're still in contact with anybody.
One. On a regular basis.
One.
Yes.
I mean, one's all you need, probably.
Yeah, well, and been my absolute best friend, soulmate type since I was in 6th grade. Right? So, like, she saved my life multiple times. Like, there's a lot of history there.
Yeah.
But no, I had a great group of friends, and we did go from grade school to junior high to high school. I will tell you, I don't feel this cool now. But for some reason, coming in as the new girl, like, I can remember, like, people fighting to sit by me at lunch.
Yeah.
Like, I was the new girl, and I was from Texas, and I was tall, and whatever.
But not for nothing, as dumb as it sounds, and you had an exotic name.
Oh, yeah, that's probably it, too. But I do remember, like, people being, like, asking me way early in the morning, can I sit by you at lunch? And I'd have to be like, ooh, so-and-so already asked me. You know, like, I just came in, like, where people wanted to be my friend. So it made it really easy for me. I don't ever remember struggling with, like, making friends. Plus, I'm in fucking 1st grade. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know? Like, everybody's my friend. Like, it doesn't matter, right? You just play with people.
Yeah.
Like, there's no...
Junior high is when you start developing those ideas and everybody starts changing and stuff. Did you notice that? Like, were there people that you were close to? Like, because the relationships evolve, right?
Sorry. Is that going to make a noise? I don't know what that does.
Well, when you hit the mic stand, in the middle of the recording, it'll just go...
Just for you guys.
Yeah. It's all new equipment, so we're trying. We're seeing how it goes. This is
You're going to listen to the recording and it's going to be like dead air.
I hope so.
The whole time.
Or it's going to be us fidgeting around and be like, are they walking away from the microphones? What is happening?
Oh.
Before I just used lapels, so it's always right at your throat.
Oh.
And now that we have these, like,
so
these
like
are...
was like really loud.
Yeah. You could feel it when you're listening to it. Yeah. But now we've got like actual nice mics and stuff. I'm like,
is this like time number 1 or have you like tested that?
Test. This is the test.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Glad I could be your guinea pig.
Yeah. It's gonna suck too because I'll probably end up doing multiple recordings and I'll just hope for the best. So the test will be like
fingers crossed
3 episodes long.
We got this. It'll be like 2 months. You'll be like, Silver, sorry, that didn't work out.
Well,
you come back if you want, but it wasn't that cool to begin with.
I bank episodes, so I can end up having like 6 done and working on the editing and be like, oh, none of these came out. And then I'll just cancel season 3.
Oh my God.
But it's true. When I recorded with Katie Tiffin the first time, nothing was recorded.
What, she got recorded twice?
Her and I recorded 3 times.
Okay, how do I get to be as cool as Katie Tiffin?
Well, no, that's not a cool thing.
Oh.
The first time I didn't know how to use the equipment and nothing recorded, and which was our best conversation by far.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks so bad.
And then the second time we were a little too loose-lipped and we were like, let's not put this out there.
Maybe that's not appropriate.
And so by the third time, we're like, I don't even want to talk to you at all. Because we're rehashing the same shit over and over again.
So it was 3 times, but only one
recording. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. This season, I plan to talk to people again as they're available. Like, and I've done a couple with Jason Carey. We've done more than 1 episode.
It's cool, dude. Solid.
Yeah. Well, he's like my favorite.
Yeah.
And we can just banter about nothing, and it's pretty entertaining.
I think you're hilarious.
I think on our last episode, we tangented off and started rating Hollywood hunks.
Ooh, I could help with that.
Yeah? The answer is Henry Cavill is number 1, so you could try.
I don't know who that is.
How dare you?
I mean, I'm sure I do. Yeah, you don't want to get into like movies and actors with me. I don't know shit.
What do you do with your life?
I like movies and I like actors,
Yeah.
But if it's not Leonardo DiCaprio, then I don't know. Actually, you know what? And that comes from like junior high.
Yeah.
Like that's where that started. Everybody knows me as the girl who loves Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
I say that like that's a thing. No, it's not how everyone knows me.
Right.
But that's just always been a thing. Now I don't love all the stuff that he's into. I don't even like a lot of his movies anymore. But for a long time.
When you say the stuff he's into, do you mean like 20-year-old models still? Even though he's 50?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
What?
No, he's not 50. He was
Bruh.
born November 11th, 1974.
Uh-huh. Guess how old he is.
Oh, shit. Oh, that sucks. I don't
Yeah.
even want to go there.
Yeah.
Forget Leonardo DiCaprio. Whatever. He's very like loud about politics and stuff, and I know very little about politics. Like
Really?
embarrassingly little. So
Is that a choice?
yeah, a little
You got
bit.
your way to try to stay out of it?
You know what? I'll tell you what it is. U.S. history, freshman year, teacher was creepy. Very creepy. Like, to the point of, like, told me his wife got mad at him because he went home and told her how much he liked my shirt.
Oh, no.
Turns out he was actually, like, let go from his school as a principal for that kind of stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
he, like, tested us on the honor system.
Yeah.
Like, so we got to grade each other's tests. So we all did awesome, right?
Right.
All of us.
Yeah.
So I didn't really learn anything about it. And
Yeah.
it did not spring me into any sort of interest about U.S. history or politics or anything like that. And so now when I listen to things, I'm so fucking confused.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they talking about? I don't have a clue.
Kinda like
So I
you
just
live in your
choose
own
not
little
to.
world. Yeah.
I mean,
That was freshman year?
sophomore year.
Sophomore year?
Sophomore year. Mr. I don't remember his name. Started with an H, maybe.
H?
I might have made that up.
That's fine either way. Because I was saying, in junior high, I know there was a real creepy teacher that we came up through that would put all the busty girls in front and like was just gross all the time.
Who was that? Apparently, I wasn't one of those girls because I don't remember this.
Yeah. I think it came. I think it finally came out a couple years after us, after we were already gone, because my sister had to deal with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this was high school, and I don't remember his name.
It doesn't probably matter. Hopefully, he's not still there.
So I did great in class.
Yeah.
But I didn't really learn anything. Like I said, my degree's in biology. I love science, right?
Right.
So,
were you a good student?
Yeah.
Like, I was saying, when you get really good grades, like, and do well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on a presidential scholarship in college. Double music scholarship, presidential scholarship. Makes me sound way cooler than I am.
I don't even know what it means.
Yeah, a presidential scholarship. Like here
literally?
you go, here's some money because you're smart to come to my school.
The president gives it to you?
I don't know, but that's what it's called. That's what it's called. It was a presidential scholarship. It was like $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
I think a portion of it, because we really are jumping around.
Yeah.
So I went to North Central, and they didn't have sports scholarships, but they wanted me to play tennis, and I wanted to play tennis. And so I think there might be a small portion of that was like, here's some smart person money, come play tennis for us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't actually know that, but
you played tennis?
Yeah.
In college?
Yeah. All through high school, all through college.
They offered it
Except
in
for
high
freshman
school?
year of college. I played for like a day.
Yeah.
And then my doctor was like, you're 6 months pregnant. Maybe you shouldn't do that. So I was still on the team.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually play.
6 months pregnant. Oh, in college?
Yeah.
Didn't that happen in high school also?
Sure did. Yep. I was your pregnant cheerleader.
Yeah. What a cliche.
Oh, I know. And I mean, it was post cheerleading season, so I wasn't necessarily, but I was.
It was just barely at the end of school also, wasn't it?
I think I must have gotten pregnant end of February, beginning of March, but didn't find out until end of March, beginning of April.
I'm refusing to believe
that I got pregnant? Because she's 23, I could introduce you.
I know for a fact that you got pregnant. I'm refusing to believe in the timeline because I have my own story.
So I remember being in Florida.
Yeah.
And at the time I was 7. Oh, I must have been 18. I was 18. My parents would let me drink with them when we were in Florida only, right? Like that was the only time I was allowed to drink with them.
Sounds like typical Florida behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was in Florida, and unbeknownst to me, I was drinking and getting tattoos while pregnant.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I didn't find out until I got back from Florida, which would have been like around Easter time, end of March, early April. Why is your timeline different? Because there's like science to this.
No, yeah. Also, you lived it. Let me tell you what really happened.
Okay, got it. I am ready for this for sure.
Allow me to mansplain your first pregnancy.
It's actually a funny story. Anyways.
So what had actually happened was you guys went to prom together.
While pregnant.
Well, now you've just ruined the whole story.
I was pregnant at a senior prom.
Is that... Okay, so it was quite a bit before... Girls stay pregnant for 9 whole months.
Yes, that is correct.
That is a fact.
So I was pregnant end of senior year through first... North Central did trimesters. So through first trimester. So that would have
been... You're talking about February, March of...
Senior year.
2001.
Yes.
So I was already out of high school anyway, because I left in January.
You graduated early. Yeah. I actually wanted to, planned on it.
Yeah.
And my parents wouldn't let me. They were like, we don't want, because they both did. They both graduated early. One a semester, one a year early. And they were like, no, you're going to miss out on this, that, whatever. Like, we want you to finish your senior year. Oh my God. And I had we went blocks senior year. So I had 2 Excel blocks. One I was the teacher's aide and never went to, and one was my Excel block. And then I had med topics where we would go do rotations at the hospital. So then my next block was that Excel block, and I wasn't on anyone's radar for that. Like, I wasn't on a roster or whatever. So I would go to Andy Halder's house and hang out until Dan got off of school. Like towards the end of my senior year. So I didn't really do much academically. First semester I did, second semester I didn't, but but yeah, that's like when I got pregnant and stuff. So like grateful now that they made me finish school.
So we had talked before we started recording. You know, we weren't necessarily close or great friends in school, but
we are connected in.
Yeah, for sure. Like we're all connected, but because there's so much I don't know. Well, as you just heard, I've made up my own. I filled in the blanks as I see fit.
I did not get pregnant at prom.
I wish that was. I like my story better.
Yeah, but Dan's story is that it was his first time.
That's what made it even better. First time at prom.
It wasn't at prom.
Like how many cliches can you tick?
Right.
At once.
Right. So yeah. So it wasn't at prom. I was pregnant for prom.
Yeah.
Pregnant and felt like shit.
That's crazy because I went to that prom and I don't remember that. And that makes me sad.
See, and I do.
Yeah.
I remember a lot where nobody else does. I
Yeah.
hate Dave Matthews to this day because of end of senior year.
There's plenty of reasons to hate Dave Matthews.
Agreed.
And I feel like too many people give him a pass.
No, I was pregnant, and so I wanted to still go hang out with people.
Yeah. So you guys dated then for
Briefly.
a while, just briefly.
Briefly back and forth a little bit.
Because like the timeline, at least like you said, is around February, March. How long have you guys been dating at that point?
Month.
Yeah, so
Maybe a month.
But you're still together. Prom's in around October.
Yeah, we had broken up, and we had gotten back together, and that might have happened a few more times.
That's how high school is.
Right.
Yeah.
And then by summer, I think we were.
Do you remember those? I know that happens a ton, but do you actually remember breaking up and getting back together? Like, as far as like, what's the mentality there?
I remember the conversation the very first time while I was pregnant, because I had a very high school serious relationship, like
Sure.
my first love,
At
whatever.
that time, though, it was a big deal.
Yes, it was a huge deal,
yeah.
and we had broken up because it all starts real weird. Like I had a crush on Yunker, which is what led me to Dan. Like it all gets weird, right? Like there's so much that goes into it. Who was dating a friend of mine, and
I
Yunker.
like that you look at dating like a ladder. I want to get here, so I'll start here.
That's so fucked up because Dan's awesome.
Dan is awesome. Also, side note, Yunker, amazing.
Yes, also awesome. And it was only because we were on homecoming court together.
Yeah.
And we were paired up together, and we did like the Titanic thing in the LeBaron. Was it a LeBaron? Was that car, that convertible everybody had?
I think so, yeah.
Everybody else was in like a Corvette, and we get the LeBaron. And so we stand up and do the Titanic thing during the homecoming parade.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's how that started. Awesome. And so I was hanging out with them at a party, which is where I say met Dan. I knew of him, but Thompson Trauber didn't really
introduced. Yeah. So that would be the other thing is Yunker, because we were at Trauber. Mm-hmm. Did Yunker didn't go to school with us? Mm-mm. So how did that even happen?
We were on homecoming court together.
But they did the two schools together for that?
You're on homecoming court in high school.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Where we all went.
Yeah, no, I'm catching up now. Right. Where we all went. Back then, there was only one high school.
This is like 8th grade homecoming you're thinking? Because that's not a thing.
Listen, this is my show. Do not make the host look like a jagoff.
I did get pregnant at prom.
Would have been way worse if we got pregnant in junior high. Jeez.
No.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, it did not.
Don't do that, kids. High school's still fine.
It was hard.
Yeah, that's what the next question, of course, like people's reaction, parents' reaction, like, and just because I feel like initially it's, damn it, don't, and then it's like, all right, well, we're in it. This is exciting,
and that's exactly what it was. Okay, so let me start with Dan. I had gotten back from Florida, and so this is how I know when I got pregnant. I had gotten back from Florida, and I was real tan, and we were going to prom together, and he was not. So I made him go tanning.
He is a pasty man. Really made him go tanning.
I made him go tanning, and I peed on the stick at the tanning salon.
Wow.
And I walked over to the bank and threw it up on the counter, because at the time, a couple of friends worked at the bank. And I threw it up on the counter, and I was like,
a piss stick
what the fuck am I going to do? Well, I mean, I cleaned it off, Yeah, I cleaned it off. There's a cap. Put the cap back on, you wipe it down.
I've never used one.
That is too much much detail. But so he gets out from going tanning, and I tell him, by the way, we're gonna have a baby.
Nice.
Whew, that was rough.
Yeah. Can you feel the air leave his lungs? It's like, oh.
Oh man, he cried like a little girl.
Really?
Yeah, and I look back on it now, and it's like, dude, I fucking destroyed his life in that moment. That moment. Now we're both incredibly grateful. We have the best daughter in the whole world, but
that's true.
She's
better than all of us.
She's better than all of us.
She's amazing.
She's so amazing.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I destroyed his life. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so yeah, he cried like a little girl.
Do you feel that way?
At the time.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
it still takes two.
I mean, I didn't. Okay, yes, I feel that way.
I hesitate to be like, it's like you're taking the blame.
No.
Weird.
I'm not taking the blame. I just look back on it because
he was devastated.
There was a time where I kind of was like, man, he cried like a little girl. But now looking back on it, it's like what I just told him, changed his entire life. Mm-hmm. So I get it now.
Sure.
Right. So no, I'm not like No, definitely takes two. Not taking the blame.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I told him. And then I think it was like the next day or something, I threw up at school, morning sickness. And I went home. My sister had a kid young.
Does she already have a kid at this point?
She did, yes.
How old is your sister versus...
She's 3 years older.
Oh, okay. So
and she had hers like 2021. So younger, but not as young as I was.
2021?
Like she was 21 years old.
Oh, I thought you meant the year 2020. I'm like...
So she was about 20 or 21 years old.
Listen, I'm trying to keep up. Wait, I'm getting the rust off. This is the first episode.
Do you need me to slow down?
Please.
I told you, you get up in here and it gets frantic, okay?
Yeah, I like it, though. But I'm like, I feel like I'm being left in the dust. And I'm like, can you turn around and pick me up? Please?
Okay, so... When my sister was in her either 2021, because Veda and my niece are only like 18 months apart or something.
Yeah.
And she's 3 years older than me. So yeah, I was young. Anyway, I thought she would understand. So I went home and told her first. She laughed. She was like,
what a mean thing.
I know. She laughed at me. She totally, and I was like looking for like someone to be like, it's okay.
Some
we're going to be
support.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Nope. She laughed. And she was like, what are you going to tell mom and dad? So I told my parents, I think that night, that I had thrown up at school.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I was sick. So their first thought is like, what drugs did you do? Right? Makes sense.
Sex drugs.
And I was like, no, not from that either. So like that conversation was hard, and I got a lot of like disappointment from them at the time. And I can remember my dad coming up to my bedroom that night, and he was like, look, things are going to be really squirrely, but we're going to figure this out. And that was it. After that, because people would ask them later, like, how'd you do that? How'd you not kick her out? How were you so happy about this? How were you so great about it?
And that makes me so uncomfortable and really upset that that's everybody's initial reaction.
Yeah.
Here's a kid that literally is begging for any kind of support, and reality is reality. Like, there's no point.
Done deal.
There's no point in going back and being like, how could you? Why did you? You fucked up. Like,
right.
It's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. We all are living in reality, and now your plan is to say, now that you need any kind of emotional, physical, and a place to stay and all this support, get out.
No.
What kind of parent are you?
And that was my parents just said, like, this happened.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? We're going to support our daughter. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's already a thing. And I totally agree with that. Like, with my kids, we'll talk about what they did wrong.
Sure.
Or why it was wrong. But what are we going to learn from it, and where are we going to go from here?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what my parents did.
It's like
that's
when you have a job
raised.
and something happens and they're like, well, who did it? Like, we're fixing the problem.
Right. Doesn't matter.
It's done.
Yeah.
Who cares how it happened? We're moving forward.
Yes. Yeah. So they just told people, like, that she's our daughter. And there was obviously the thought of adoption. I say obviously, but for me, obviously, the thought of abortion was not a thing. Mm-hmm. That was never going to happen. Right. Never even a thought in my mind. And then,
I don't even think, I can't imagine you even had that conversation. Did you?
Maybe we don't. The conversation was had.
Yeah.
It was a suggestion from someone else.
Really?
And hands down, it was a no from me.
Yeah.
And it was just, that was not going to be a thing for me. And my parents told me, like, adoption isn't a thing, because if you decide you want to go that route, then we're just going to adopt the baby. So we're going to help you.
Yeah.
You know? And Dan and I were so lucky. Both of, like, we went to the same college.
Yeah.
We both had.
Did you guys go together at the same time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And not because we planned it.
Yeah, we used to hang out at North Central all the time.
Yeah, we were different groups.
Jason
we weren't.
and I once walked home.
From North Central to Oswego?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
When we're ready to go, we're ready to go. And as long as we have legs, we're gonna just.
That is a long walk.
I think he's done it more than once.
That is a really long walk.
We are stubborn people when we need to be.
Okay. Well, glad you made it back.
We attempted to walk from DeKalb once.
Oh.
And we're like, this is a bad idea.
This is pre-Uber.
When Randy lived up there, we were like, we're done. Let's go.
We're out.
Yeah.
No car.
We're basically babies. Like,
oh my God, that's hilarious.
but as you were saying.
Yeah. So yeah, we both went to North Central, and we were super blessed with amazing parents on both sides. So like Veda was raised by
that's what I was gonna,
three amazing men and three amazing women.
One of the comments
you know
I was going to say, like, people say it takes a village, and like, yeah, Mary and Kim are unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
And obviously my parents are too, because look what we made. Like, I give, Dan and I have co-parented so amazingly, and I will brag any day about what a beast of a woman that we have made. Yeah. But it all started from, like, my mom watched her 3 days a week, and Dan's mom watched her 2 days a week while we were in school. Because my parents told me, like, you're going to have a baby, but you are finishing school. Like, it wasn't even like a choice. Yeah. You're not dropping out. We're going to help you, whatever it is. You're getting your degree. Yeah. So Dan and I both got our degrees, you know, and we had a ton of help. So she was, like, at a young age raised by, like, Mary and my mom, as well as Dan and I. And, but, like, I was still able to, like, do the things that somebody in college would have gotten to do. I did at one point, I worked 4 jobs, and I went to school full time, and I had Veda. But it was because I had help. Right. It wasn't because I did that on my own, right? Yeah. Mom and Dad helped. Right. And then, but I still, like, I got to play tennis, and I was, I was on a music scholarship, so I had to stay in the band, but I did all that stuff with the band.
What did you play in the band?
Dude, I was such a cool drummer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Why don't you remember that?
So I often have to play dumb. So that the audience is like, because they're probably sitting there like, oh, I wonder what she played. So I can't just be like, hey, tell the folks what you played.
I was a classical percussionist.
Yeah.
Yes, my name is on a plaque at North Central. I have, like, very few, like, claims to fame. Very few, because I'm really not exceptional in any way. But my name is on a plaque at North Central because I won the concerto competition for my marimba solo my senior year of college.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's still there, but at one point they had that.
Did you ever have goals or aspirations of doing anything musically?
Nope.
Besides college?
Nope.
Nothing at all?
I wanted to minor in music performance. Yeah. They didn't offer that at North Central. And I wanted to be an orthodontist since I was really young.
Really?
Junior high. Since I got my braces off in 7th grade. So I was like, this is badass.
You wanted to be an orthodontist, so you were like science and music degree.
Yes. Actually went to college to, I wanted to take all the prereqs and take the DATs after 3 years so I could get into dental school so then I could move into orthodontia.
Orthodontia?
Orthodontia.
Is it really called that? Orthodontia?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I believe you. Just I've never heard that word before.
Orthodontics? Yeah, no.
Orthodontics?
No.
No?
Orthodontia.
Okay, well, I trust you.
The word has lost all meaning now. I don't have a clue anymore. Anyway, but it was hard to be in school with a kid and working and stuff. It was really, really hard. At one point I wanted to quit because I got offered a full-time job. I was a play facilitator at the museum, and I got offered a full-time job.
Which museum?
DuPage Children's Museum.
Oh, nice.
You didn't hear me say play facilitator? Best title of a job ever.
I did hear you say play facilitator.
Yeah, I worked at a children's museum. They offered me a full-time job, and I really, really wanted to take it because it was hard to be in school.
Yeah.
And I never liked school.
Never?
Hated it.
Why
always.
did you do so well in...
It's a good question. And this is part of the reason that Beta is so brilliant.
You guys just push yourselves?
I had learned from both my parents that a really awesome work ethic produced results.
Yeah.
So I worked hard. I studied, like my sister innately could be good at things, right? She'd sit in front of the TV, do her homework. Fuck no, I'm in my room, no music, door shut, doing my work. But I worked hard. I learned well. I learned very well, but I worked hard. So, and I say like Veda got to reap benefits from both Dan and I because I have a nice work ethic.
Yeah.
Dan is just
He's uncomfortably
innately brilliant. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan's the guy who got C's in school and pulls out a fucking 32 on the ACT. Who does that?
Actual smart people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was not. I was not smart. I worked really hard.
You know how to memorize and relate back to a test.
100%.
Dan
And that's exactly
is just
what it
highly
took.
intelligent.
Yes.
That's great to have both. Though.
No, because he retains it and I'm an idiot now.
Right, but like your daughter has got both, so good on her.
That's what she has. Yes.
I agree though, like because I want to read like he reads, and I'm always like I can't. It's so. I mean, not that I can't, but like I have to reread stuff and I have to go back to it. And if I skip a couple days, like I forget everything. Like,
I just don't read.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too
so
much.
hard.
Yeah.
And I don't have time now, but I did for a small amount of time.
You don't have time now?
No, my job's 24/7. I mean, it's
I
intense.
get, yeah.
The fact that I don't have my phone here going off every second is because I took the time to tell everyone I will not be available. You will need to call somebody else.
Yeah.
So, so no, I went through a stint where I read, but it was like, I read like the trendy stuff. Like,
I read comic books, so I'm a child. Actually, comic books are amazing.
now my son reads them.
Does he?
Yeah, he has to read for like language arts, and he hates school too. He's not like he's not great at it. And
It's not
so
a
he'll
place for
read
smart people.
he'll read graphic novels and comic books as like the books for his classes.
That's great.
Yeah.
When I worked in the junior high, I left a bunch of graphic novels there.
Really?
So I'm like, you
For
kids
them.
should read them.
Yeah. And I say read, but like he reads. Right? Like
You understand those are two different things, right?
he'll listen
He listens
as
to
he that's totally should be coined the new term
I
for it.
love this term, actually. I'm a listen reader, so which is just a fancy way of saying audiobook, right?
Yes, but I think that he also reads along.
Yeah.
Like I think he
can do
listens
that.
while he reads.
Like,
I don't know.
We tried to do a book club, and we read one fantasy book that was really hard to read for me personally, and I finally just listened to the audiobook on YouTube and read along with it.
Yeah.
It's the only way I could get through it.
Yeah, that's how he does it. But I did like the Twilight and the Hunger Games, and I read all those.
Yeah.
And then I got out of that. I didn't. It was a short amount of time where I was like, yeah, I'm a reader. Nope.
Yeah.
Very short amount of time.
The way Dan reads is infuriating. Like, and I know he will, because he's a speed reader.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but
powers
like,
through books.
I'm choosing to believe that.
He's like Spencer.
I'm starting to realize how much of your guys' life that I've filled in and just decided is true.
We got prom pregnancy. You're just making it up.
Yeah, he's a speed reader.
So tell me what happens next.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked. We're getting to the exciting part next. So, after college, then what do you because you didn't take a job in either of your degrees.
I did.
Did you?
Sure did.
Okay.
I ran a blood bank for a year and a half.
Really?
Fucking amazing job. Loved it.
Are you considering that running a blood bank as part of your science degree?
Yeah. Why not? My degree's in biology.
What did you do at the...
I specialized in like animal research and animal studies, anatomy and physiology.
Uh-huh.
I was the rat woman in college.
But what did you do at the blood bank?
I was the lead phlebotomist for the donor center.
Wow, so you were a phlebotomist?
Yeah, but they train. I worked for Heartland. They train you themselves, so I don't have like a certification in it.
Okay.
I just got trained to do that job,
right, yeah.
and I was good at it.
To
I was a
be,
good
like,
stick.
To do it at like a medical facility, you have to go through a whole different set of schools.
Yeah. So
That's
I
crazy.
could never do that.
It's crazy how that's a thing. Like, we can train you to be a phlebotomist, but you can't be a real phlebotomist.
Right. I couldn't take that skill anywhere else.
Yeah.
I had to do it there. And and I was a really good stick. And so they made me like the lead team. I came in as a team lead because I had a degree, I think, because I started 2 weeks after college ended.
Wow.
But they made me the lead team lead of our biggest donor center. And then I got fired. It is the only time I have ever like failed in that way, and it is so embarrassing.
Failed?
Yeah, like
in what way?
I got fired from a job. Like that's not cool at all.
Oh, it depends on the situation.
So,
because we worked a job together that I probably was fired from, but I consider myself I quit.
Oh, I definitely Dog says?
No, you and I worked at Target together.
You worked at Target?
Yeah, that's how long I was there.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Really? Because I worked there 13 years.
Yeah.
That was next.
Yeah, is that after the blood bank? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I worked there for maybe 2 weeks.
Okay, so it's okay that I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, for
Because
sure.
I briefly felt like an asshole.
No, I hated it there. Like,
okay.
Because I'm actually one of those rare people that I enjoyed my time in retail. I worked at Circuit City, specialty retail. Like, Target's way different.
Yeah, I did not enjoy retail ever.
Yeah. Well, Circuit City I liked, Best Buy I liked, H.H. Gregg not so much, Guitar Center I loved.
But my husband worked there.
Those are like specialty things.
They're not
you're
your
dealing
big
with
box
different
retail.
customers.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a whole different ballgame. But when I worked at Target, I was excited because the GM at that time came from Circuit City.
Who was it?
I could
Evan?
not tell you.
Evan?
I could not tell you.
What year?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that either.
This is great.
Yeah, I don't. I blocked it out of my mind. It had to have been somewhere.
Tim Snyder.
It's possible.
That sounds like it would have been him. He was there the first like 4 years I was there. 2, 3, whatever.
Did you start at the Oswego one?
I did. And then I went out to Warrenville and then to Wheaton as
wow.
So I
kind of
promoted
around,
and stuff, and then came back to Oswego.
Because I think you were the front end lead at the time.
I was. GSTL.
Yeah. Bruh. I hate it.
All acronyms.
I wanted to work in electronics because I had the electronics background.
Sure.
And I like warehousing because I've also done a lot of warehousing management and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept putting me on the front register. And I'm like, no.
Like, this isn't fun.
I also don't have a sense of urgency. I do not care. And
that was, you got to be fast.
They rate every...
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm always pointing out, like, when I go to Target, too, I'm like, you see what's on the monitor? This is that bullshit. They give you the green, yellow, or red thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's the worst. And then they come and talk to you about it 4 times.
If you're not fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hated it. But my dad had a heart attack in those 2 weeks.
Oh.
And I had to leave and go to the hospital. And when I came back, he had pulled me aside. I was like, those are unexcused absences. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. I'm like, my dad had a heart attack. I was in the hospital. Like, it's an extenuating circumstance. We're not going to count them as unexcused. And he's like, no, we are. They're unexcused.
Bye.
You don't have to leave. So I was like, nah, well, you can fuck yourself. And I left. Yeah.
What the hell?
So I consider that me quitting, but technically I was probably fine.
Nah, you quit. You totally quit. It was a conversation, and you said you had the last word.
I don't do well with authority in the first place. Like, I just don't like being told what to do.
Hence this job now.
Hence this job now, where I kind of not get to tell people what to do, but at least help them find what they're looking for.
Which has got to be super fulfilling and sounds badass, but I don't know much about it.
It's, I mean, we're in my office right now. It's nice, right?
It's so cute.
It is.
It's probably not the way you want it described. It's really cool.
I think cute works. Like, I'd rather hang out in a cute office than,
we're in a house. It's homey.
Yeah.
I got my feet on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I like it a lot.
It's laid back. Lots of windows. Like, man, it's awesome. But yeah, it's nice because it's different than psychology. Like, I used to do trauma recovery also, and it's different than that too, but I can go there if needed.
Okay.
Because, like, a psychologist is there to kind of help you work through things that are blocking you and, like, potentially traumatic things, and they want to diagnose you and kind of put you in a bubble and things like that.
Yeah.
And work through this stuff in a specific way, clinically. Towards a life coach is like, we're here, we're moving forward.
So is it almost therapy?
It can
I sign up?
It can it can mimic therapy in the sense of, with my particular training, I can pull certain threads and we can do that, but it is not therapy in any real way because I'm not diagnosing you. I'm not taking notes. I'm not giving you extra things. We're taking where you are now. Like if you're feeling stuck or if you want to move forward and you're dealing with things, we're just taking I'm meeting you where you are and we're moving forward.
Okay.
And it's like, because some people don't want to necessarily dig.
We don't go backwards.
Right. We don't want to dig. But if the digging comes up in the course of us talking, I have the training to do that also.
Got it. Okay.
So I try to. I personally, I hate tooting my own horn, but I like the training I have because I can cover all those bases.
Right. And so are your clients like? Do they have that background? Like, are they like mental health issues, things like that, mostly, or no?
Honestly, no.
Okay,
because
so clearly I know everything about it.
Well, so far at least, like it's still in its infancy and it's still new, but it's more a matter of like just feeling, I'm feeling stuck. Do you know what I mean when I feel like you feel stuck?
Yeah.
Or stagnant.
You have like plateaued in your life at the moment.
Stagnant or depressed, or I'm going after a specific goal. Like I've had clients reach out and are just like, I want to specifically talk about work goals. Because one of my certifications is in goal setting and achievement.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So one of them is in life purpose. Like I've got a few different. I have 4 certifications. That's what equals the master.
So you have to have goals to see you.
You don't have to.
Because
No.
I don't know if I do.
Well, see, that's the thing. I agree. I don't feel like I've had goals in life in general.
Yeah.
Because the idea of setting them gives me anxiety.
100%.
Right.
Then you have to try to meet them.
Yes.
And then there's like pressure.
Yes.
And shit always happens differently.
Mm-hmm.
So like
That's true.
I'm a very and this comes from like things that have happened in my life, but a very I'll use the phrase because it's part of where I am in life now, but like one day at a time.
Yeah. And I agree. And like I feel like the more good things that happen, I'm terrified of success, which is a whole other thing where you're like, God damn, I'm so used to just living in negativity and having shit piled on that you just kind of get used to that.
Well, and I feel like the higher you get in life, or okay, let's talk professionally. Mm-hmm. Like I'm cool where I am now.
Yeah. Because
the next step up, that shit is stressful.
Right.
I don't need that stress.
Right.
I'm really good at my job now.
Yeah.
Good. Let's stay there.
Right.
Let's ride this because I don't want to have to stress all the time.
And I think that's important because I've never been a career guy. I've never been like, I want to go to school for this, or I could do this job for forever. I've done a ton of different things. And right now, this is the first time I've ever loved what I'm doing.
Really?
And I also love, because the podcast and my job now as a life coach kind of intersect
100%
in a certain way that I'm like, this is so
feels
cool.
like therapy to me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being coached.
In a way, it kind of is because we're kind of rehashing your life.
Yeah. Which gives such a good feeling. Like when I told you, like, because I had listened to a couple of them and I was like, man, these bitches are badass, right?
Yeah.
Like I reached out to 2 of them and I was like,
really?
I love you. You're awesome. After listening to the podcast.
That's my favorite thing about the show is that I get a lot of feedback of people reaching out to the guests and being like, man, you're fucking awesome.
And I messaged you, like, it was very inspirational for me to like hear these stories. And it made me, I told you, I was like, I'm getting all emotional because it made me think about my life. And like, I went home and like cried to legit. I cried to my husband. I was like, I got to tell you something. I was like, I may be a bitch because I am. I'm a controlling, stubborn bitch. Like I am, but I am so grateful for where I am in my life right now.
Yeah. And
like, I'm like crying as I'm telling him, I'm like, because like we're talking about my life and there's some shit, right? Yeah. Like everybody's gone through some shit. Absolutely. So have I. And in my life, it was pretty intense in the moment. But like, if I can be negative every second of every day, if I flip that perspective, like I'm in a really great place in my life. You know what I mean? My kids are happy. My husband's great. I have an amazing job that I happen to be really good at. Like I'm in a good place in life. That's the way I need to think about it.
And,
and we don't always stay there.
Because you deserve that. That's the hardest thing. I know you do. We're self-deprecating people. We can't help it. I think that comes also from our dark sense of humor and used to being shit on, where we're like, all right, well, I don't want to say too many positive things because
I don't think I deserve it. I think I'm blessed as hell.
What's
you
the
know what
difference?
I mean? Oh, because if you deserve something, it means like you're owed, right? No.
Nope.
You're wrong.
I didn't mean to be so fast on that.
Nope.
But I don't think that it because I don't feel any entitlement whatsoever, and I don't feel like you have any entitlement.
No,
reality
I
is
say so.
reality, which we've already said a couple of times. Great, now I'm repeating myself already on that.
But that hasn't been the coined phrase.
Not yet. Oof. Yeah, but I don't think that it's any kind of entitlement or owed. It's you deserve it in the sense that you're a human being. You want good things for yourself. You want good things for others. And you're doing everything you can to put as much of yourself into the world and not asking for anything back. So whatever comes back is extra and feels amazing.
And if that were my constant thought process, that would be amazing.
Well, that's
because sometimes, like, I expect you to clean your room, or I expect you to like give me a little bit of like, hey mom, or hey wife, thanks for taking care of everything.
Yeah.
And I don't always get that, and that's where the bitch comes out.
Sure.
Right? Like, how are y'all not fucking grateful? Look at all I did. However, what I did was because I needed it done.
Right.
I need my house to be clean.
Yes.
I need you to wear clean clothes.
You cannot hold other people to your standards.
I try. I really try.
I believe
it's a problem. I really try.
But it's going to lead to heartbreak every time.
Yes.
Now, that doesn't mean you can't have a conversation and be like, hey, this is what I need. Are you able to meet me? And how are we going to work on this as a team?
And there is a fine line there. Like, there is like, my God, can you not see you have clutter everywhere, right? Like, pick your shit up.
Yeah.
Or they don't care, I care.
Yeah.
So clean it up yourself because you're the one who benefits.
And that's the other thing too, is being like, I need you to do this because it matters to me.
Oh, that's a great conversation to have.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to explode every time, and it's so easy to diffuse if you weren't so, I'm going to say selfish, but it's a little harsh.
No. I 100% agree with that. Her name is Rust. You don't want her to come out. I had someone give me the alter ego once, and she was like, well, your name's Silver. How about Rust?
Oh,
and I was like, man, that bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
Meaning Rust.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But no, and I will say, like, when I say, like, I don't deserve it, I would love to think of myself as, like, this super powerful, independent, strong woman. And I think there have been times in my life where I could say I am, but not for nothing. But it is not me. Like, I very much have a spiritual connection, right? So, like, I didn't do any of this shit by myself. Like, I had God in my back pocket the whole time. And we don't have to get any further down there if you don't want to. But, like, none of it is me.
Well,
because I never could have.
Depends on what you're interpreting or considering spiritual connection and God.
Whatever you want it to be.
Sure, but we're talking about you specifically.
Oh.
So, because it's as simple as, in the wide scope of things, and that's not to piss on everything else on a smaller level, but that's just the universe offering opportunity, and you're the one seizing it.
No, I don't disagree with that at all. And for me, like, I would say, like, God is the traditional Christian God. That's how I was raised. But I went through some stuff about 6 years ago that caused me to have a connection with that same God in a much, much, much different way.
Yeah.
And that has changed my life incredibly. And so when you're saying, like, the universe puts it out there and you take it, for me, it's, I listen finally, right? Like, am I taking it? Sure, because the opportunity is there, but it's because I pay attention finally.
But once you start paying attention, you realize what's for you.
Yeah, well, sure. But, like, it can all be there, and if I don't ask for it. That's how you know you deserve it. Yeah, okay. I could see that.
Because it wouldn't be available to you if you didn't.
See, and I think it might be available. I just have to ask and pay attention. I don't pay attention. I do my thing too much. Huge. Yeah.
You know, because I think it's hard to come to a place of clarity.
Oh God.
Right? Where it's like, okay, what am I doing? What do I want? What do I want versus what do I need? What's realistic? and what can I handle? And those fluctuate constantly.
And I don't have a fucking clue.
Right. Yeah.
I need help with that regularly.
That right there that's where life coaching would come in, is pulling those particular threads and matching it out. One of the things I really like is we do like this whole wheel of life, where it's like each thing, like, all right, here's your friendships, here's your job, here's your life, here's your personal life, here's your relationships, like here's your mental health. On a scale of 1 to 5, where are they? And then you do it as a wheel, and then wherever you are on the wheel, like this is a 5, this is a 1, this is a 3. Does this wheel actually function, or is it jumping around and falling over because it's not smooth?
Oh God!
So that's when we start. Okay, now we know
That's a scary thought.
Now we know what to focus on,
Sure.
because we see what's out of alignment, and we start working on these alignments and like you said, whatever comes up or whatever goals we have in the first place. And then we go from there.
Oh, that you start with the goals again.
Right.
I don't. I do not.
Yeah. It's easy to say that too. Like, don't get me wrong. It's definitely a process, and it's different for everybody. And some people come with exactly what they want already known, and that's nice and easy. Other people, if you can get them in the door, there's a strong chance that they want to talk in some semblance. But it's tough because I have friends that are handing out business cards or talking to other people. And the first thing is always like, oh, I'm going through this. I'm having a hard time. It's like, oh, my friend's the life coach. Like, I don't need that. Like, okay. They still got a taboo about it.
For some reason, I think the name is that stigma, right? Because
I agree.
when I think life coach, I think man standing in a huge room full of people with bright lights telling you that he's amazing and I can help you get there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I think of. I don't know where that comes from.
But
TV?
I don't know where it comes from either, but I agree because it has almost that motivational speaker feel to it.
100%.
And yeah, I don't like that stigma.
Right.
And I'm not that guy. I'm still a normal person.
You could totally be that guy.
I could be that guy.
For sure.
But it's the same reason I excelled at working in the junior high. It's the same reason I'm a bus monitor also part-time. So kids love me and stuff because I'm the same. No matter who I'm talking to, what we're talking about, I'm the same guy you're going to get. I don't talk down to people. I don't talk above people. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't I work with special needs kids with Down syndrome, extreme autism, like nonverbal. I don't change anything about my personality to talk to them, and they love me for it.
That's what I love about, because Veda does too, right?
Yeah.
Like, my oldest is a high school special needs teacher. Oh, that's tough, by the way. Super fucking hard.
Yeah.
Super hard.
It's tough being on the outside. I've noticed even as just working in a bus with them, because I've got to put them all in their seatbelts, strap them all in, and seeing enough to know how their parents are treating them is so hard because you're not involved at all. We literally, a couple weeks ago, we had a teacher told me that the parent admitted that she can't handle her daughter and just locks her in her room.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And I'm like, what?
DCFS immediately.
They've been there multiple times.
Oh my God.
It's insane.
I watch Veda talk to them, right? Like, her best friend is paraplegic. Like,
right.
I watch her talk to her, and she talks to her just like she's talking to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's like she has a younger cognitive development. Right. I might speak to her more like a child. Right. Like, but I don't have what Veda has. I don't have what you have, right? Like, she just talks to her like she's
I feel like the initial inclination is to treat them like they're glass.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I think they resent
then
that.
I watch Veda throw her around. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're going to hurt her. She's like, no, she's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, I hang out with this kid on my bus, and I mess with him all the time. And he has just adorable little Indian kid with Down syndrome. But he messes with me back. And he's so funny the way he does it. Because he'll take what I'm doing and then take it too far. Where like I mess with him. I love this. Like, I'll point out the window when he looks out the window. I'll mess with him, and then he does it to me, and I look out the other window, and when I turn around, he slapped me in the face as hard as he can.
Oh my God!
And I laughed, and I was like, please don't ever hit me like that again. But that was so funny.
There is that. I mean, Veda will like show me bruises, and she gets bit and choked every day. And as a mom, really I'm like, no.
Yeah.
What the fuck, right? And she's like, Mom, like, this is what I signed up for.
Right. They don't,
now, she got beat up recently, and that was scary as hell.
Right. It can
Because
definitely
these are
cross
high
the
school
line.
kids.
Right. It can cross the line.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember that they don't know any better. Man, last week we got covered in piss. And that was a huge line for me because I don't like kids in the first place. So,
Awesome.
Yeah. So it makes no sense that I do these jobs anyways. But there's a reason I don't have them. And I don't do, like, my, Sarah's cat has like, nasal problems. And it gets into these sneezing fits. And boogers come streaming out of its nose.
Mine has goopy eyes.
Yeah. And every time that happens, I'm like, I'm going to throw up because I can't see that or be around it. And then a couple weeks ago, a kid, because they all have to wear diapers, she peed her diaper. It was uncomfortable. She doesn't talk or anything like that. She started ripping her diaper off and throwing it around the bus. And I'm like,
Nope.
I went to the back of the bus. I'm like, tell the driver, I'm sorry, I can't be part of this. He's throwing at the driver.
This is where we draw the line.
I'm like, I'm not. I took the next day off. I couldn't handle it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. When she finally slowed down enough, I grabbed her. I had to restrain her. And I was like, she was 6 steps.
Which there's also certain training for. There's so much that goes into that.
Yeah, and I'm like, you have to take her to her house right now. Because this is not...
We're not doing this.
We're done with all this.
So this is like end of the day.
Yeah, it was the afternoon
Like we're going off the route.
We're going home. Yeah.
Taking her home. Got it.
Yeah, it was just... crazy.
So yeah, maybe not being a parent is a good thing for you.
Yeah. Well, I think it's... I mean, too old now, right?
Yes, I agree. My husband would not. I agree.
Does your husband want to have more kids?
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Where you're like, yeah, if I was a spry 35, you could have another kid.
Right.
But
I'm
40,
not.
What are you about to? We're gonna be 42 this year.
I don't want to talk about it. I already am.
Already?
Yeah.
Is your birthday?
January 2nd.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Yeah. So I am 42 and he is 35.
Yeah.
I started when I was 18.
Right.
His youngest is 5.
I can't believe he'd want more. He's got younger kids already.
Yeah. But he wants one with me.
Yeah, what do you think about that really though?
That thought
It's such a sweet
awesome.
thing.
It
yes.
is.
But it's also weird. You have 6 kids already.
Uh-huh.
Like, how greedy do you have to be?
And it is sweet because he does want one with me, right?
I do think that's a beautiful sentiment.
Yes, I agree. I am old.
I'm curious though how that affects the other 6.
Oh, yeah.
Because
we Brady bunched it for sure.
Sure, but I feel like
they also have one together.
I feel like adults don't think of that.
No.
When you merge a family like that, especially like that's a big family, and then it'd be like, okay, but it's not good enough. We need one of our own. Well, what a kick in the balls to all the other ones.
I never even thought about it. You're right. Like, we don't think about it that way. And I don't... It is sweet that he wants that. I already have a merge, right? Like, I have 2 baby daddies with my 3 kids.
Yeah.
And now I got 3 bonus kids. Mm-hmm. And then...
Yeah.
I don't...
I'm just going to say it. Trashy.
I said 2 baby daddies.
That's right.
With 3 kids, not 3.
It is funny that 3 is like, okay, that's too much.
Yes. That's the limit. I only have 2.
Yeah. I think that's still passable.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Like I already said, I am way not classy. Oh, but I don't want to be trashy either. Right? Like, I'll walk that line, but I don't want to go over it.
Right. Yeah. It's a fine line to walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
So, you worked at Target for 13 years?
13 years.
That was a hell of a tangent.
Hated it. Yeah, it was. It was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Hated it?
Hated it the whole time.
Yeah. Target's like, if I think of the idea of a Karen, Target's the first place I think of.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's just this pain in the ass.
See, and those I had no problem with.
Really?
Give me a Karen all day long because I know what I can do for you.
That's
I know
true.
all the ins and outs of the job.
They're
right?
pretty easy to diffuse when as long as you know that you're going to be backed up and what you can realistically do.
Yes. And if they were not a Karen and they were nice, I would do all those, right? Yeah. I know, like, what I can do as far as, like, returns and whatever, right?
Yeah.
I know I can change prices. I know all the things I can do. And if you're nice to me, I'll do them.
Right.
And if you're not, I will get security and you will leave.
Right.
because I will be backed up, right?
Yeah.
Like I know I'll be backed up, but I hate it. I hated retail. I hated the job. I love the people that I worked with for the most part.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where I was really not good at it because
Really?
I hated it so much.
Yeah.
And they changed so much. And I'd love to like place blame on everybody else, the company, this, that, and the other.
Well, retail evolves fast.
It does.
Especially in those bigger stores where like they're used to making a lot of money. If that changes whatsoever, they change their whole
everything.
thing.
The entire fucking process
Yeah.
changes. And that's what happened towards the end. And I had looked for quite a while. There was a time where I was promoting and I was thinking I would stay. And I looked for a long time, but they changed the process and then I went hardcore looking.
Yeah.
And I was out as fast as I could be. But I got to a place in my life where I could be. I had to pay the bills, right? Like,
sure.
I got 3 kids at this point. Like, Target paid the bills. And so I just stayed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know what else I can. I felt like I had done retail for so long that I had no other skill.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything else.
It's kind of like
I had nothing
serving.
else to offer.
It's kind of like
I'm gonna do
serving
this.
where it's so easy to become a lifer. Mm-hmm. If you can't, like, it's tough to get out of.
I felt like retail made me dumber.
Yeah.
Because, right, like I ran a blood bank and I had this degree and I was this smart girl, and then I get into retail and it's like, I'm a manager at Target. I was embarrassed to tell people what I did. Like, I
Really?
did not like that at all. I did not enjoy that job. And then I ended up not being good at it. And again, I was blessed by like getting recruited where I am now.
Because that went straight into your job now, right?
Mm-hmm. I actually, because I had looked so hard and I interviewed and got hired as a store manager at an Ulta.
Yeah.
I think the Oswego Ulta is what I was going to manage.
I'd say
And
that probably was just opening up at that time.
yeah, and I don't know, but I also interviewed with Aftermath, and I told them in my interview, I said, look, I have a job. I start Monday, but I think I'm better suited, and I really want this job.
Yeah.
And by Thursday, they had hired me. Like, I went on a Tuesday. By Thursday, they had hired me. Like,
Yeah.
they were... I interviewed well. I don't know. I remember them telling me later that, like, the CRO of the company went to HR and was like, we need more like her.
Yeah.
So, like, whatever happened in that interview apparently went well, and I got hired within 2 days and have been there ever since, which is awesome. And I do love my job now, and we can go back to that where you say, like, you love your job.
Yeah.
There was a long period of time where I didn't. So to be able to, like, love what I do
Right.
is awesome.
I feel
it's
like
awesome.
That's what I was saying too before. I feel like we walk a similar path where there's not a clear career path.
No.
I just want something that doesn't feel like it's draining my soul.
Yeah,
And
for me it was pay the bills.
Retail does drain your soul.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I worked at Menards DC. It was soul draining. Like when the second you walked in, you're just like,
Oh, I hated it. I hated it.
Yeah.
And I will blame a lot of things that happened in my life on that job, although it was all me. It wasn't
Really?
the job. Wasn't the job. It was me.
What do you mean?
So there were multiple things that led up to this. One was like, I went through a huge weight loss, and at the same time still working for Target.
Yeah.
And with a weight loss of that capacity, right? Like I lost 160 pounds in 8 months.
Jesus Christ.
So like your brain can't keep up with what's happening to your
Yeah.
body. Like
That's a hell of a transition.
yeah, it was nuts. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But I
Did you
got
do a thing?
yeah.
The
Yeah, I
whatever?
had gastric bypass in 18.
Did you insurance cover that?
So, go to the doctor one day.
Yeah.
Just whatever, I think checkup. I can't even remember. I'm surprised I went for a checkup, but I did. Go to the doctor and she takes my blood pressure and it's high. I wasn't like in a scary range, but
Sure.
it's high. And I kind of made a joke and I was like, yeah, I just lost a couple of pounds. And at the time I was over 300 pounds. And so I'm like, yeah, if I just lost a couple of pounds, I'd be fine. And she goes, well, have you ever thought about like weight loss surgery? And I was like, yeah, every day.
Right.
And I flat out told her, I was like, I don't have the money for that. And she goes, you're actually at a point now where your insurance will cover it. So like,
Really?
I was so big
Yeah.
that my insurance thought process there for insurance is we either pay for this now or we pay for blood pressure medication and
Right.
diabetes
Yeah.
medication and all this other stuff
That makes
later in
sense,
this
yeah.
chick's life. Right?
Right.
So my insurance covered it.
Can't
Yeah.
believe my doctor never recommended that.
Your BPI has to be at a certain level.
Really?
And mine was
Yeah.
stupid.
My little depression pouch has just been growing.
Well, it took me 10 years to get there, right?
Really? Yeah.
Like I I was this.
I like that you said get there. Like this was the goal.
That was the goal. The goal is to be sumo.
Yeah. I mean, it's way funner getting fat.
Oh yeah, because it was really hard to lose it all. But it was like a progression of about 10 years where I continued to gain and gain and gain. I had 2 kids and I gain and gain and gain and gain. And then
I feel like it's hard. It's easy for me to forget how much it changes your body being pregnant and how hard it is to get it back. It's different for everybody because I see a lot of like...
It wasn't at 18.
Right.
At 18, that shit snapped back real quick.
Well, then I see people like Annie, and Lindsay Stanley and stuff, and I'm like, they bounce back so fast. I'm like, I bet girls hate you.
Right? Well, and again, at 18,
they
that
work
was
their
easy.
ass off also.
Yes. And when you're bigger, it got to a point where it was like, well, fuck it. I'm never going to be able to be what I want to be. Yeah. I'm never going to be the size I want to be. Fuck it. Well, when you have a case of the fuck it's, you just keep gaining, you know? And the fuck it started at like 200 pounds. Right. Then I'm up to 300. Then I go over 300 and it's like, whatever. Because that was just going to be my life, right? Well, I had gastric bypass, and I am definitely one of those people that throw myself full in. So if I didn't do exactly what my surgeon told me to do, it wasn't going to work for me. Yeah. And so
some people have had to have it multiple times.
Right. I followed it to a T. And I'm talking, when I say to a T, I weighed my food. I counted how many times I chewed my bites. Wow. I timed when I started eating, when I ended eating, and then how long it could be until I could take my first drink of something. Yeah. I did it exactly like they told me to. Because if I didn't, it was all gone. It was all for nothing. Yeah. I lost about 160 pounds in about 8 or 9 months.
That's a person.
It is more than a person. It is a person and a half for some people. So like I've kept it off for 6 years now, but I got to be like in support groups and whatever, just like Facebook support groups. Sure, yeah. And I heard a lot or read a lot that people with people that go through that extreme amount of weight loss transfer their addiction. Right. Because that's a food addiction. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. And they become alcoholics. And I was like, yeah, that's never going to happen to me. I also said that when I was like having sex in high school, that I'm never going to be the 18-year-old that gets pregnant. So apparently like whatever, those things do happen.
That's that whole foreshadowing.
Yeah. So, but like I was like, oh, that'll never happen to me. I can control my drinking. I'm fine. And there was a long period in my life where I could. And it took about a year for me to go from losing all the weight. And then once I had gotten to a weight I was fairly happy with, about a year before I was a full-blown alcoholic. Really? And when I say full-blown, I mean taking 6 shots in the morning so I can put my makeup on because my hands were shaking. Wow. Drinking all day long. That's crazy. Yeah. And a lot of it is that...
How did you keep your job?
They didn't know.
Wow.
And
functioning alcoholism.
Yeah, and you get to like a maintenance, right? Like I had to be drinking to maintain. Oh. So you get to a point where like doesn't matter how much you drink, you're this level and then you're blackout. Really? Right? Like you're done. Wow. So like I don't remember a lot of times towards the end when I was drunk, I just was always at a level of
perpetual inebriated.
But if I slept and woke up in the morning and I had not been drinking, then that's where like the shakes and stuff came in. I thought at the time, because I didn't know anything about alcoholism. Alcoholism was paper bag, lower whacker, right? Alcoholism was my aunt who drank the cleaning supplies. Yeah.
Like, well, it's also tough too when you're still doing everything that you normally do.
Yes. And that's where like the functional alcoholic comes in. And like you can't see my air quotes, but the functional alcoholic, because yes, I still had my job. I still had my kids. I still had my car. I didn't lose anything material wise. I never got arrested, got pulled over. Yeah. Luckily, I'm a woman. So I did not get arrested for the couple of times where I fully should have. Right. But I hadn't lost anything. I just was miserable all the time and could not stop drinking. Yeah. I mean, when I say could not, I can remember walking towards a bottle, because it got to the point where a straight rum out of the bottle. I didn't need anything else. Just give me the bottle of rum. I can remember walking towards the bottle of rum, and I had been drinking all morning, and it's an hour before I have to go to work, and it's like you need to stop before you go to work, and not being able to stop. My brain told me and my feet kept going. Yeah. Like it's intense, right? Like I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't realize it would get that intense. And I don't know why we even got to that, because there was a point to it that something had happened in my whatever. So
the addiction transferred.
Yes, so the addiction transferred, and
Do you feel you were addicted to food, or was it more of a comforting thing? Which I guess is a fine line.
Yeah, so it probably was more of a comfort thing, right? Like, I'm miserable. Give me the cheese fries. Give me the cake.
That's how
whatever.
I feel. I don't feel like I'm addicted. I mean, sugar addiction, sure, like all of us. But I don't feel like I'm addicted to food so much as, like you said, you get those fuckets where like it's delicious.
Who fucking cares?
What's a heart attack, really?
And I ate whatever I wanted whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
That's the point it got to, because there was no way. And I was told by my surgeon, you will never be able to lose weight where you are now, because your metabolism is at a point where even if you diet and exercise, you will not lose weight.
Yeah.
You will not lose the amount of weight, right?
Right.
Unless you do something about it.
Yeah.
So like, people want to call it cheating. Fuck you, it's hard as hell.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a cop-out. It was not a cheat. It was very, very difficult.
Yeah, well, everybody's body is different. I mean,
Sure.
So it's weird, because we have a tendency, when we find something that works for us, we want to tell everybody else. And so everybody's body's different.
Yes.
And what works for you doesn't necessarily work for you. Or I just don't fucking want to do what you did. Like, that's why there's options.
Right. Well, and this, to me at the time, I thought, okay, this will be the easy way. It was the fast way.
Right.
It was not easy.
Yeah.
I had to go through
it's so meticulous also.
everything. I had to meet with a pulmonologist, a cardiologist, do a sleep study, wear a heart monitor. I had to get approved by a psychiatrist. I still today don't know the difference, and I've seen them both for years.
A psychiatrist gives you drugs. A psychologist just talks.
Maybe both then. I don't fucking know. I had to see my doctor once a month for 6 months, and I didn't have to lose any weight but I had to discuss weight loss in those meetings. And then I had to do like a pre-op diet where you totally cut everything out for 2 weeks to shrink my liver. Then I went through a very intense surgery. Then I was in the hospital for 3 days. Then I have to do all these meticulous, teeny tiny things to get to where I need to be. Then I ended up having, I'll say, abdominoplasty and
I was say, because that
reconstruction. I had a boob job and tummy tuck.
Right. That intense change to your body, though. You had all the extra skin, and they can't get to it right away, so you kind of have to live like that for a little bit, and that sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm a woman. I found ways around it. I dressed the right way. I
Sure,
got the
but
right
like
bras,
in general,
whatever.
like okay, but now. Okay, if you're dating somebody,
right,
you're
I have
trying
this
to be intimate or
great
something.
weight loss and not this great body yet, right?
Right.
It was tough.
It's kind of like you're insecure about being fat, and then you're insecure about wearing all
extra
this
skin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough road for sure.
Yeah, I had pancakes and an apron. It's such a gross way to put it. It's so disgusting. But they do call it an apron.
Yeah, I believe it.
So fucking nasty.
It's
but yeah,
crazy that they can just kind of cut it off and put the stuff together.
dude, my belly button's fake.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually pretty cool, because like they cut it off and they pull everything up and stretch it together and then sew it down here and make me a belly button, because they cut off the belly button. So my belly button is fake. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I had all that, and
did you have to get did that require a boob job also, just from the sheer weight loss, or
no?
Or was that just like, you know what, while we're in there?
Yeah, so there was a lot of things I wanted done and things that I still want done. And at the time, the plastic surgeon was like, I'll do 2. Because they have what they call like a mommy makeover.
Yeah.
So like I wanted boobs, butt, tummy, legs, right? She's like, I'll do 2 of those. So I had I got a boob job and had a tummy tuck. And insurance does not cover that.
Well, those are cosmetic. Right?
Yeah. They would have.
The weight loss became medical.
Yes. And
if the other things are cosmetic.
If the weight loss caused the skin to cause a medical issue,
right,
then insurance would have covered it.
Yeah.
So like I would have loved to have told them like this extra skin is causing a rash.
Right.
It wasn't. I was lucky. I was young enough and healthy enough that things snap back better than they do for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But not enough for me. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to it. I actually had that done in sobriety. So which is where we were kind of going I went into rehab and I got sober, and that has changed my life tremendously. Like I work an Alcoholics Anonymous program. I go to a meeting every morning. I've been sober for it'll be 6 years next month.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely would not have the job I have now.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that, I wouldn't be good at it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be able to do it because my job is 24/7. Like it's an intense job.
Yeah, you're on call So you Silver works at Aftermath, which is I feel like they're known for cleaning up crime scenes, but that's like a gross.
It's crime scene and trauma cleanup.
But it's
the official name is biohazard remediation.
Yeah.
But we do crime scene and trauma cleanup.
Right.
And we do some other things.
I've always been curious too because I applied there once when it was still pretty new back in the day. And then once I learned about the ins and outs, I was like, oh.
Yeah, you can't look at urine?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, it's not that I can't look at urine. I don't want to be covered in it. But I've always been curious because it kind of gets your brain thinking, okay, when you're doing a crime scene cleanup, where does a company like Aftermath come in versus where the coroner comes in?
Yeah, so this is actually cool, right? So, like, those are your first responders, right? The police, the fire, ambulance, and then you got your coroner and your medical examiner.
Because they're taking bodies out.
Their job is the body.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
Our job is what's left.
Because they don't do any of that other than like whatever's evidence.
No, and people don't realize that. They're like, what do we do now? Right? Because, like, people don't know. When the coroner comes and takes your body, if you have been unattended in your home, if you committed suicide, there are things that are left.
Right.
That ain't their forte.
These are things we do not talk about in society.
Yeah, my job is tough. I told you, like, I have to become...
Silver doesn't do the cleanup, by the way. She works in the office, but she has to deal with all the photos, dispatch.
I manage all of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a project manager.
Yeah.
But so yes, I look at all the photos. I help scope out the work that we need, and then I manage the crew from afar as they do the cleanup, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of paperwork. It's working with insurance, talking with families.
Working with insurance,
Yeah, so insurance will cover biohazard remediation.
I never...
Homeowners insurance.
I mean, obviously...
It's a loss to property.
Obviously, it's a business. It has to make money, but I just now crossed my mind that you have to pay some asshole to come and clean up the most horrific stuff.
And there are people that think it's free. Unfortunately, it's not. But what's really unfortunate is that family next of kin are left with that, with the aftermath of what happened.
That should be built into something almost, like, so that it's a guarantee every time.
Yeah. So there's a part of it that there are certain situations when it comes to, I can talk professional, or I can just say when it comes to blood, insurance will cover it.
Right.
If it is like human fluids, urine, feces, animal hoardings, we do all those. They don't cover those, but they'll cover a suicide. They'll cover a crime scene. They'll cover unattended death.
You guys don't do roadkill though.
We don't pick up animals.
Okay.
But if an animal dies,
we'll
take the animal and clean up.
Yeah.
But we do the cleanup. Ours is to get whatever property or home to like pre-loss condition, which takes a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
Like you see it on like TV. First of all, this job I have looked at over 6,000 crime scenes or scenes.
Nothing like TV.
No, I'll see it on TV and I'll be like, that's not the way that happens when that person does that. Like, that's not what it looks like.
I bet you're real fun to watch TV with.
Or I'll look at it and be like, oh, that's popcorn ceiling. That sucks. You know what I mean? Or like, that hardwood floor's got to come up. You know?
I like the idea of you watching like a mob movie and be like, her body didn't fall right.
Well, and it's not the body I know, but it's where the blood goes, right? It's
the
almost
blood wouldn't hit that wall.
No I'll CSI the hell out of that shit.
Because I feel like this, we talked about before we got on, but this kind of line of work requires a dark sense of humor.
It has to.
Like, there's no way to get through day to day.
No.
Because this is reality. And I understand we don't talk about it. It's not polite, but like, it exists.
It is.
And somebody has to take care of it. And
that's just it. Somebody has to do it.
Right.
I cannot be emotionally attached to every single one of my customers.
Right.
It would kill me.
Yeah.
There are situations that are worse.
Sure.
Right? And hard.
Heartbreaking things, absolutely.
Yes. Terrible things that happen. But, and it may be a little unfortunate, but it's to the point where it's a job. This is my job.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is what I make my living from. Right. I am very compassionate. We pride ourselves on being compassionate to our customers.
Yeah.
But it is still my job. So yes, when I look at a crime scene or a suicide or whatever, I'm looking at it very, very different than other people, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at where did the blood go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What structural work do we need to do to get it up?
Right.
And how am I going to land this job? Because not only do I love helping families every day, but I love me some money.
How am I going to land this job?
Yeah. That's tough in my industry, but it's true.
Also, it isn't...
We don't get called in to do it. We get called in to assess it.
Right. Okay. So you're bidding on a job essentially.
Yep.
So then you're trying to, all right, what's realistic? How do we undercut but still be profitable?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
And that's where my portion of it comes in, right?
Yeah.
If insurance is going to cover it, like,
that's got to be a little
let's
easier.
be honest, I'm going to do our recommended scope of work to a T, and I'm going to
Sure.
bring in every penny that I can because I'm going to help this family.
Right.
They're going to pay less because they're going to pay their deductible.
Right.
I'm going to get all their shit covered, and insurance will pay for it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to do that. But if it's a self-pay, maybe they're not insured, maybe it's something insurance won't cover. Yeah, that's the thought process. How do I help the family?
Right.
And how do
you maximize
land
and
the job
minimize?
while maximizing the profit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it's awesome. Like, I get to be a part of, and it's weird to talk to people who don't do it, because I say I get to be a part of some really cool shit. Like, but like, I've done very high profile jobs.
Yeah.
Some of which documentaries are made out of that you have all seen, which I won't say on air. But
Right.
like,
well, that's what's crazy is you can't talk about it.
no, not necessarily like
Yeah.
that. I could tell you off air, right?
Sure,
like I would
sure.
tell you
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did this,
Right.
or I did this person's suicide, but
Yeah.
there are some really high profile
You guys
ones,
can message Silver.
right? On a one-on-one, we can chat. But yeah, there's one, and then I mentioned my claim to fame about my marimba.
Yeah.
This is another one.
Yeah.
I did do a cleanup that was very, very, very high profile. There are 3 to 4 documentaries, Hulu, Showtime, and Netflix, as well as a movie with like big actors that they have made out of this particular crime scene.
Yeah. I wish that you were a character in the film.
So our part isn't even in it,
No, I'm
which
sure.
is some bullshit.
Because your
right?
part doesn't exist in real society.
No, they even mention. So like, here's the thing about this particular job, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize at the time how high profile it was or was gonna be.
Right.
Do you have a phone call?
I don't.
Is this important? Do you need me to stop?
Well, I have another recording soon, so
Oh God, I don't even know what time it is.
it's almost 12.
Oh.
So, but no, I just want to make sure that she's not like waiting. So she's gonna be like, yeah, we're almost done anyways.
Got it. So more important her than me. Makes
Not at all.
sense.
Well,
Come on, if I can't fuck with you.
it's actually tough because they're like, all right, is this gonna be one that goes 50 minutes or just gonna go 3 hours?
Do you want to put us together?
And I feel like hers is gonna get interesting also because she's a nurse with a lot of opinions.
Oh man, nurses are the hardest customers.
I'll bet. Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I know what you're doing now. No, you don't. You might have been able to save their life, but you don't know how I'm cleaning it up at all.
Yeah.
So anyway, the one that I did though, my boss, I didn't realize it was high profile. I'm looking at normal pictures
Yeah.
like I do. My boss comes running over and he goes, "Did you look at these photos?" I go, "Don't worry, I already got it covered." It was a double homicide, one with a high-powered rifle, one with a shotgun. And when that happens, you anticipate a ton of spatter.
Yeah.
But you also anticipate that the person falls over and there's a pool of blood.
Sure.
There wasn't. There was no pool of blood.
Really?
So I told my crew, like, we're missing something.
Yeah.
Go, and this was in like a shed. And I was like, go walk around outside and find it because we missed it. There's something there. They come back to me. So my boss runs over. He's like, we're missing something. I said, I already told him. They call me in 5 minutes and they were like, we tried, but the police told us we weren't allowed to be out there and we had to go back where we were supposed to be.
Oh, wow.
So that was like my first sign.
Yeah.
Then I come in and one of my coworkers, this is a month later, she's like, your customer's on the cover of People magazine. And I was like, what? And it turned out,
It's weird you guys call them customers.
Client, customer. Yeah. Well, he was my customer.
That's the right word. It's
And
just
I have
weird.
a text message from this guy who's
Yeah.
been in all these documentaries who is now in jail for life. But it's not the only one that we've done that way, right? Where we actually meet with the...
I was saying, do you guys ever get to work with the police?
No.
They kind of keep you separate.
So marketing wise, we
Sure,
do. That's
yeah.
like... So everything we get is a warm call.
Right.
We're not ambulance chasers.
Yeah.
We don't go out there looking for things. We will work with funeral homes, coroners, medical examiners, police department for recommendations, right?
Yeah.
So like, hey, we'll go clean out your squad car that somebody spit in or peed in or puked in. We'll do that for like way cheap, sometimes free. You recommend us for the next job you get called out to, or all the jobs you get called out to. So that's how we market and that's how we get our calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's pretty badass. Like,
It's crazy.
when I going from being like, yeah, I'm a retail manager,
Yeah.
to like, oh, I do crime scene cleanup.
Yeah.
Way cooler. So much cooler.
I think you might be psychotic.
Also true. Fuck you, Tim.
So I feel like we've covered that's what you're doing now.
Yeah.
We've already covered your new marriage that's still in its infancy. We'll see how that turns out.
Stop. He's amazing.
No, you guys do seem happy. You guys have an uncomfortable litter of children, but I'm sure you guys like that.
It keeps life interesting.
What do you guys think is next?
Yes, no.
You never have goals or plans.
No. I hope that today.
One day at a time?
Yeah, I hope today I don't do anything stupid. I hope I have a good day. I hope I'm happy. I hope my kids are happy.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow I hope for the same thing.
There's one of my favorite quotes is when one eye is fixated on the goal, it leaves only one eye in which to find the way.
That is deep and pretty fucking awesome. So I just fixate both eyes here.
Right. Staying in the now is important.
Yeah, goals are scary.
It's really hard to stay present.
Yeah.
Because as a society, people are always pushing, okay, what's your value? What are you doing? What are you offering me and people around you? What's next?
See, I'm going to do that today.
Yeah, nobody does what's now.
Right. I'm going to do that today and hope I do a good job of it. And what's next is what comes tomorrow, right? Like, I don't know. I would probably consider myself a lifer in the career I'm in now. I've been there about 5.5 years.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it and I'm good at it. So I don't see a reason that I leave there. I enjoy my husband. I'm good at him too. So I don't see a reason that I leave that.
I'm good at this person.
My kids are great. My kids are happy. Like, I'm in a good place in life. And don't get me wrong, dude. Life sucks sometimes. Life still gets lifey.
Well, but you need those lows to identify the highs.
Oh my God, I say that all the time.
They're a package deal. Like, you can't.
How would I know life is good if it was never bad?
I feel like we would stagnate and just feel so plateaued out because you'd be like, I don't know what good or bad is. I'm just this whatever.
This is just life. No, I love that because I think that same way. And life is like that, right? Like, not every day is great. Yeah. I'm going to try to hope that I'm positive for today.
The best thing you can hope for is to like have those tools in place to be able to deal with the lows.
Yep.
That's when it gets spicy. Where you're like, ugh.
And for me, it's deal with it without getting wasted, right? Like, that's what I need to do today.
Hurting yourself in any way, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I think that's, I think we're good. I think we did it.
I know I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about your unearned sense of arrogance.
I told you. I am a sarcastic asshole.
You are, but I wish you were a little more... What's the word?
I'm an egomaniac with an inferiority complex.
Yeah, I wish.
So I know I'm awesome, and I need you to tell me I'm awesome,
Yeah.
because I know I'm not awesome at all.
It makes me want to knock you down a few pegs.
Dude, I'm taller than you.
Okay.
Don't start with me.
You know what? That's how rumors get started. We are the same height.
I am big. No one ever fought me, though, so I wouldn't know how I'd hold up. I tried.
I feel like I could knock you out pretty easy.
I guarantee that's true. I tried. I've never been in a fight.
You tried to fight people?
Hell yeah.
Why?
Because one time I just wanted to...
Hit somebody?
No, I just wanted to see how I would hold up.
Yeah.
Just one time.
Yeah. My friend Luke, when we were kids back in the day, like when we were in high school, we had a similar thing. Like, nobody ever fought us. So we went into the basement and just punched the shit out of each other.
Right, like I want to know.
Take it.
Yeah, just to see how I would do.
It
see
sucks
if I
getting
could
punched
do
in
it.
the face.
Oh, I don't have a clue, and that's fine. But like I said, I've been
It's
this
too late
big
now.
since
We're
12.
too old to
oh
be
yeah,
getting
no,
punched
no.
in the
I'm
face
talking
now.
like in my 20s at
Yeah,
the bar.
yeah.
I tried. She cried.
Yeah.
It was bad. Like, it just that people. I'm big, and I'm not scary.
Yeah.
I just am tall, and people are like, "Oh,
You're
she's tall."
uncomfortably tan, and you wear dark makeup.
Quick story about being tan. Quick story. So, when I'm back on my gym routine, when I'm tan, and I choose when I'm in the tanning bed, because I reward myself after I go to the gym, I go tanning. Not every day, but right? So when I'm in the tanning bed is where I do like my prayer and meditation. Mm-hmm. So I tell people the tanner I get, the closer to God I am.
Also because of skin cancer. Nice work.
That too. It'll be fine.
Just me and my melanoma.
Today I'm not dying.
That's true. But either way, thank you so much for finding time to come and talk to me. This is awesome. Good kickoff. Hopefully the equipment picked up the show and this isn't all blank.
Yeah, we'll just do it all over if it didn't. But thank you for asking me. I was very confused at first, and I really appreciate that I got to do this.
I feel like everybody gets confused. I also don't explain anything.
No, you're like, hey, you want to be on my podcast?
I literally like,
the fuck?
Hey, I started a show. Do you want to be on it? And every single time it's like, what's the show about? Which I could have. I'm like, do you want to do a show or not? God damn it.
Yeah, but when I even just read your thing on Spotify, it's like, that's an awesome thought.
Yeah.
Like, we really are surrounded by some pretty amazing people.
Right. And you would never know. Like,
no.
It makes me sad, too, because I've branched out people that aren't in our friends group or grew up with us, and their episodes don't do as well, which bums me out, because their stories are incredible. Like, my friend Liz that I talked to, I met her at H.H. Gregg years ago. She's from Sierra Leone. She had to leave her house because of armed men in the diamond trade. They lived in the woods for a while. Like, they were kicked out. Her dad disappeared for like 6 years. They made it to America. They were like 5 years behind education-wise, and she's a college graduate. Like, her life is incredible.
Amazing story.
And like, but I can't get people to listen to it. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry she didn't go to school with us.
It's
still
the
awesome.
Banter. It's the past history.
We get a lot of people that are like, oh, when you're talking to so-and-so, it just feels like I'm in the room and I'm responding to you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Well,
not like an interview or whatever. Like,
yeah.
We just chat for the past 2 hours.
Well, if you put Jason together, we're just sitting there talking shit to each other.
Which is also awesome and fun to listen to. Yeah. That's the kind of humor I like. If I can make fun of you, we're going to have a good relationship.
Yeah, I don't trust people that don't take the piss out of others.
Yes. I'm serious. I tell people in the field all the time, because I work with all these people that do this badass job in the field, and I'm like, if I can't fuck with you, we can't do this, right? Yeah. And the reason that I'm good at my job is because I create a relationship with the people that work out there.
Right.
To go do what they need to do, right?
Yeah.
And but it's because I like to mess around with people and have a good time. We were talking about how you're the same all the time.
Yeah.
I can't be, right? Like, hi, this is Silver with Aftermath. How can I help you? I can't be that person to the people in the field, right? Like, I just
I can't be fake. Like, I can't put on like a kid.
And I have to be.
Yeah, well, you got to put your customer service. When I used to do the trauma recovery, I had to put on my therapist voice also. Like,
see, it exists.
Let's just take a deep breath.
Oh
and
God!
Hold it and
it's
let it out.
People will make fun of me because I'll be like, "What the fuck does this person want? I'm sick and tired of talking to him." Hi, this is Silver. You know, like, you just turn it on immediately. Yeah. I can be fake when I have to be. I don't want to be. I don't like it, but I can.
That's what we'll end on: authenticity. Just leaning into who we are.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
This has been wonderful. Thank you.
This has been wonderful. Thank you.